How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from last night, which was June 10th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Eddie Kingston versus Jake Hager. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Eddie Kingston went over with the spinning back fist. Match 2, it was Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh versus Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh went over cause Jay Lethal pinned Matt Fitchett with a double lethal injection to both Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega. Well, after the match, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt ganged up on Matt Fitchett and started stomping on him, and then Satnam Singh executed a twisting razor's edge to Matt Fitchett and laid him out and everything, and then Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh celebrated and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Chris Statlander went over with the night fever. Well, before the match, as Chris Statlander was coming out, Red Velvet was already out in the ring, but Chris Statlander was coming out to the ring, and Red Velvet tried to attack Chris Statlander, but Chris Statlander countered it into a power slam, and then Chris Statlander threw Red Velvet on the apron, and Red Velvet went into the ring, and so did Chris Statlander and everything. That was cool. Now, after the match, as Chris Statlander was celebrating her victory, Kiera Hogan came into the ring and attacked Chris Statlander from behind and beat the shit out of her, and then Kiera Hogan threw Chris Statlander out of the ring, and Jade Cargill attacked Chris Statlander with a running pump kick, and then and then Anna Jay came out and started beating the shit out of Kiera Hogan, and Anna Jay executed the Queenslayer on Kiera Hogan, but Red Velvet attacked Anna Jay from behind and beat the shit out of her, and then Red Velvet held Anna Jay down, and Kiera Hogan attacked Anna Jay with a super kick, and then then Red Velvet threw Anna Jay out of the ring, and then Jade Cargill and Stokely Hathaway got into the ring, and then Athena came out, but the producers and the referees grabbed Athena, because as Athena was coming out, the referees and the coaches and producers and everything, they held Athena back from getting into the ring to brawl with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, Stokely Hathaway, and the baddies, which are Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan. And as that was going on, the baddies, which are Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Kiera Hogan, and the baddies, which are Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan, along with Stokely Hathaway, were all in the ring taunting Athena while Athena was being held back and everything. Was being held back by the referees and the security, and with the referees, the coaches, and the producers and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. And match 4, which was the main event, it was Trent Beretta and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open, which are Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Trent Beretta and FTR went over because Trent Beretta pinned Kyle Fletcher with the strong zero. Now, besides the matches, Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker along with Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Well, Tony Schiavone introduced Britt Baker as the Owen Hart Women's Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Well, Britt Baker was saying, "Yes, Tony, yours truly, the Owen Hart Women's Champion. But not only am I the Owen Hart Women's Champion, but I'm missing the AEW Women's title." And I have a problem with someone going after the AEW Women's title. Tony Schiavone said, "Are you talking about Tony Storm?" Britt Baker said, "Yes, I'm talking about Tony Storm, dumbass." And then Britt Baker was talking about how Tony Storm is trying to insert herself for a shot at the AEW Women's title and everything, and then talked about how it was a bold move and everything, and then Britt Baker was talking about how Tony Storm don't want to mess with her and Jamie Hayter and everything, and then Britt Baker talked about how she was going to take out Tony Storm and everything as well. That was cool. Ortiz cut a promo talking about how he was going to kick Chris Jericho's ass on AEW Dynamite's special event Road Rager and everything, and Ortiz talked about not only that he was going to kick Chris Jericho's ass, but he's going to shave his head bald and everything as well. That was cool. Lexi Nair interviewed Hook and Dan Halsen. Well, Lexi Nair was talking about trying to get a word with Hook and Dan Halsen, but she hadn't seen him or anything, and Dan Halsen pulled up in a golf cart, and Lexi Nair said, "Dan Halsen, you and Hook were victorious in your match at Double or Nothing. How are you feeling?" Dan Halsen said, "I'm feeling well, thank you very much. Because Hook and I, we got a victory at Double or Nothing, which was wonderful." And Lexi Nair said, "Well, where's Hook?" Dan Halsen said, "Hook is here, but he will be here. He should be here shortly." And everything, and then Dan Halsen left in his golf cart, and then Hook appeared in a golf cart, and then Hook just stared at Lexi Nair and drove off, and Lexi Nair was looking on and everything. That was cool. Miro cut a promo talking about how his neck's healed, but his heart's broken, and how he was blaming his God, and how he blames his God and everything. And then Miro was talking about how he was going to get retribution now that he's back in it, talking about how his God took him away from his home of AEW and everything, and talked about how he wasn't going to let his God take control of his home or anything anymore, and how he was going to now be in control, and how he was going to prove once again that he's the Redeemer and everything. And Miro talked about how he was going to dominate and everything now in AEW now that he's back and everything as well. That was cool. Lexi Nair interviewed Ethan Page along with Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky, and Lexi Nair brought up to Ethan Page saying, saying, Ethan Page, next Wednesday night on AEW Dynamite's Road Rager, you're going up against Miro in a qualifying match for the AEW All-Atlantic title. What's your thoughts? Ethan Page said, my thoughts, Lexi? You really want my thoughts? Well, here are my thoughts. Miro, welcome back to AEW, for one. But two, you want to sit there and you want to blame your God for your failures? Because you lost the AEW TNT title and you blamed your God for your failure. But it was your fault that you failed. So what are you going to do when I kick your ass at Road Rager and advance in the AEW All-Atlantic title tournament? Huh? You gonna blame your blame your God for me kicking your ass? Well, Miro, I don't pray to a God. You know who Ethan Page prays for? Ethan Page prays for himself. Ethan Page relies on himself. And come Wednesday night at Road Rager, I'm going to kick your ass, and I'm going to advance in the AEW All-Atlantic title tournament. And I'm going to take my Canadian flag, I'm going to wave it all over the arena, and I'm going to put it right over your laid out body. And everything. That was cool. And Mark Henry interviewed Trent Beretta and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, and Will Ospreay and Aussie Open, which are Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Aaron Honora. Well, Mark Henry asked Will Ospreay. Mark Henry said, Will Ospreay, Wednesday night on Dynamite, you appeared along with Aussie Open and attacked Trent Beretta and FTR. Why? Will Ospreay said, well, Mark, I came to AEW, and yes, myself, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Aaron Honora, we all attacked. We all walked through the forbidden door. And we dominated FTR and Trent Beretta. And since this is the forbidden door, we're taking advantage of it. And tonight, we're going to beat Trent Beretta and FTR. And everything. And then Trent Beretta said, you know, Will Ospreay, we go way back. But I'm going to tell you right now, ever since I've known you, you've been nothing but an asshole. And you're always going to be an asshole, in my opinion. And everything. And then Cash Wheeler was saying, now, Will Ospreay, you have messed with the wrong people. Because when you mess with FTR, then you have a rude awakening, son. And everything. And then Dax Harwood was saying, yeah, Will Ospreay, you and your boys wanted to put your hands on FTR. Well, you got your death warrant. Because FTR, we are not pushovers. We are fighters. And we will kick your ass tonight. And everything. Top guys, out. And then Mark Henry said, and then Mark Henry said his signature line, well, looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. And everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Eddie Kingston versus Jake Hager. Rick Knox refereed the match between Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh versus Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet. And Paul Turner refereed the match between FTR and Trent Beretta versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's... Hold on. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event, Road Rager, that's been announced so far. It's going to be the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, versus the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, in a three-way tag team match, in a three-way tag team ladder match for the AEW Tag Team titles. Chris Jericho versus Ortiz in a hair versus hair match. Miro versus Ethan Page in an AEW All-Atlantic title and the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event Road Rager that's been announced so far Wednesday night. It's going to be the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Hardys, which are Matt and Nick... Hold on. And the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's special event Road Rager Wednesday night that's been announced so far, it's going to be the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, versus the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, in a three-way tag team ladder match for the AEW Tag Team titles. Chris Jericho versus Ortiz in a hair versus hair match. Miro versus Ethan Page in an AEW All-Atlantic title tournament qualifying match. And Wardlow versus the AEW security guards in a 20-on-1 elimination match. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite special event Road Rager Wednesday night, that's been in that Wednesday night, looks like it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from last night, which was June 10th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.